Hello all, my name is Taryn Kwam, and today I will be discussing art as cultural storytelling for my capstone project, Native American heritage through ceremony, dance, and community. My project explores how art expresses identity and supports cultural survival within Native American communities. By analyzing the Tule River Powwow and West Valley College's On Thanksgiving, my goal is to show how cultural celebrations challenge systemic inequities and reclaim Indigenous narratives. Both events use performance, regalia, and ceremony as powerful acts of decolonization and cultural expression. Some important course concepts I'll be utilizing today are 1. Systemic inequities, the unequal outcomes due to social systems that unfairly advantage certain groups. 2. Cultural survival, the ongoing practice and protection of a community's traditions, language, and worldview. 3. Historical trauma, collective emotional and physical harm passed through generations of violence, oppression, and colonization. 4. Marginalization, the process where certain groups are excluded and denied equal access to resources or representation. 5. Resistance, actions that challenge oppressive systems and assert dignity. 6. Identity, cultural, social, and personal characteristics that shape individuals and communities. 7. Cultural preservation, efforts to maintain, protect, and pass down cultural traditions, practices, and knowledge. 8. Community resilience, a community's ability to adapt and remain strong when facing adversity or oppression. 9. Decolonization, the process of undoing colonial power structures by restoring Indigenous rights and self-determination. And 10. Representation, how individuals or groups are portrayed in the media, institutions, or narratives, which influence how society understands them. The first event I attended is the Tule River Powwow, which I did so virtually. The Tule River Powwow is an annual gathering celebrating Native traditions across tribes. The event itself is an act of cultural preservation, maintaining practices threatened by colonization and forced assimilation. It creates a space where dancing, drumming, and regalia honor ancestors and rebuild community resilience. Regalia functions as wearable storytelling. It reflects identity and family lineage. Drum circles serve as a communal bridge, bringing people together across generations. Dance functions as both spiritual ceremony and historical narrative, resisting marginalization and placing Indigenous culture at the center. Some themes I noticed across this event are cultural survival, the preservation of music, dance, and ceremony, resistance, seen through standing against centuries of attempted erasure, communal resilience, which is seen through participation across generations, and historical trauma, healing through collective gathering and spiritual practice. The second event I attended is on Thanksgiving. West Valley College's On Thanksgiving is an annual event hosting Indigenous peoples affected by colonization. The event opened with a land acknowledgement to honor the Indigenous peoples who previously occupied the land. The ceremony, led by Muwekma Ohlone tribal leader Joey, directly challenges dominant narratives and promotes representation of Indigenous perspectives. This event also acknowledges sites like Alcatraz, tying local history to broad patterns of systemic inequities and land disposition. Joey's teachings acted as an oral history, which emphasizes cultural preservation. The ceremony and dance performed were expressions of decolonization and reclaimed Indigenous presence on a campus located on Ohlone land. The emotional tone of the event connected students to ongoing historical trauma experienced by Indigenous people. On Thanksgiving creates a space for Indigenous-led representation and visibility. The event fights marginalization by challenging widespread Thanksgiving narratives. It highlights intersectionality, which shows how colonial violence intersects with race, land, gender, and culture. Some shared themes across both events are systemic inequities. confronting inequities by rewriting narratives and protecting Indigenous identity, historical trauma seen through communal healing, cultural survival, expressed through ceremony, regalia, and dance, resistance seen through reclaiming spaces historically tied to oppression, cultural preservation, the oral histories and artistic expression, community resilience seen through resistance across generations. In both events, art is used as a tool of identity, cultural preservation, and decolonization. Regalia tells family stories, dance expresses tribal history, and ceremony honors ancestors. Storytelling resists marginalization and promotes authentic representation. Attending these events helped deepen my understanding of Native resilience and helped me connect course concepts to real community practices. I experienced how cultural gatherings address historical trauma, strengthen community resilience, and assert identity in powerful ways. These events expanded my awareness of the ongoing process of decolonization and the importance of Indigenous-led cultural spaces. Both events show that art is essential to community survival. The ceremony, dance, storytelling, and regalia show how Native communities resist oppression and preserve their history. These events challenge systemic inequities and demonstrate the importance of cultural visibility and representation. Some discussion questions are: how do cultural events such as powwows function as acts of resistance and cultural survival? How do these events foster community building and promote healing? How can institutions such as West Valley College address inequities? Thank you for listening.